Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my Capstone Project presentation, where I'm excited to share valuable, actionable information for your business, organization, or future studies. So thank you for tuning in to this video, and feel free to take notes on these insights. And let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so slide 1 is an introduction which goes over why Sentinel Guard matters. And the reason why for that is because AI nature protection is a machine learning elevates that detects threats beyond statistic rules. And then you have independent unit logic, which operates as a distinct business line that clarifies ownership. And then you have capstone boundary, which is the analysis that is initially focused on a self-contained unit to isolate strategic strengths. And then you have the strategic significance, which is a cyber defense that is no longer a support function. And all of these are important in today's society. So overall, it just goes over the Sentinel Guard that demonstrates how AI can transform cybersecurity into a scalable, differentiated, and strategically defensible business unit. For the second slide, we have the business model overview, which talks about the service stack, the defensive automation, the reoccurring monetization, and the trust asset, which is definitely important that you want to have in your organization because it's basically going over how the Sentinel Guard creates value by combining layered services and the recurring revenue, automated defense, and a trust building customer experience. And I feel like that's very important to have in an establishment because your customers are very important. You're supposed to value your customers. You got to make sure that you have a trustworthy bond with them because when they see that in an organization, it makes them want to come back for more products. It makes them want to keep working with you because they know that you're trustworthy. They know they have an engagement, a relation with you, a bond that is unbreakable with them. And they know that they could trust with you with their most valuable possessions. And that's what you want in your organization. You want them to trust you with basically, with the revenue, with their money. And I feel like having AI is really great to have in an organization anyways because of how technology is reshaping our world anyway. When it comes to the next slide, this would be basically going over the core strengths when it comes to the competitive advantages of the Sentinel Guard. It talks about the AI detection, the elastic scale, the rapid response, and the learning flywheel, which are all important because the Sentinel Guard's advantages comes from combining precision, elastic scale, rapid response, and a compounding data advantage. And a lot of these happen to be in a lot of organizations that people use through technology when it comes to the data advantage. A lot of businesses and organizations do be taking advantage with combining some of these. So I think that it's very important to know about the core strengths. For the next slide, it is the operational and strategic weaknesses where the model is exposed. So it's just talking about the integration friction, the expertise, dependence, the false alarm, the model drift. So it just talks about different things of the threat evolution, the frequent misclassification, the high quality threat operations. So overall, this slide is basically going over the main weaknesses that are operational, not conceptual, misclassification, drift, integration friction, and independence on a scarce expertise. But other than that, that is basically what it's talking about with the weaknesses, the strategic, operational that needs to be addressed when it comes to the model being exposed. So that's it for that. For this slide, this one is the market positioning and customer fit that talks about the SMBs, which is a smaller firm value package protection, the MAUT market, which is talking about the growing organizations that need scalable defense, the regulated sectors is the healthcare, finance, and critical services that need auditability. Maturity alignment is the service that fits best where baseline security exists, which is basically talking about the strongest fit is not universal, and how the adoption depends on the firm size, the regulatory exposure, and the existing security maturity. So that's basically what it's talking about for this whole entire slide for the presentation and what the benefit, how it benefits towards the Sentinel Guard, which I think is very beneficial as well when it comes to my career. So that's all for that slide as well. Now, the next slide is basically the risks when it comes to the governance and the scaling constraints. It talks about the constraints overall that shapes growth. It talks about the privacy, which is the telemetry collection that has to be minimized, the compliance, which is the cross-border data handling and sector specific rules that's required, the incident response, which the escalation paths that must have the fast accountable as customer volumes, and the resource load, which is the detection, quality, analyst support, and platform, which is very important because when it comes to the scaling Sentinel Guard, it requires disciplined governance because the privacy, the compliance, and response reliability is all become harder at volume. So I think that you definitely have to watch out with stuff like that in businesses today when it comes to the organization and the AI powered. So for this, we have the strategic implications for career and authorial framing, which is definitely good for me because looking towards my career, I want to be an author. So I feel like this will help support my positioning as a writer because I not only will have a thought leader, a case narrative, an industry lens, and publishing path, but this will help me be able to know what I need for my path. Especially because overall, it's the broader lesson is that this case supports authority building, structured analysis, and a publishable professional narrative, which will definitely help me for my career. And that's what I'm excited to use these tools for. For the last slide, this is basically taking note on the key takeaways and forward-looking recommendations, which is the strategic synthesis and the next steps and goals in our life. It focuses on the net advance, the priority motives, the research agenda, the brand value, which is important for the project strengths when it comes to the strategic bridge of the AI compatibility and business insight. I feel like that's definitely important. So overall, for this presentation, I learned that the Sentinel Guard appears strategically attractive, but success depends on the discipline, execution, governance, and continued research. And that's what I learned throughout this 8 weeks of researching with my classmates, being able to learn more and use these tools to kind of help reshape my career and my path. So thank you guys. And I hope that you definitely took something away from the presentation, and good luck to everyone in their future with their careers and their future with their education as well. Bye, you guys.